Okay, it looks like we're all here.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
You want to start it, Amber?
General hospital background. That's really cute.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, you want me to start? I was waiting for you to start. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Soap Up,
Hi.
where this month we all read, or hopefully read, Death in Daytime by Eileen Davidson. And we're just here to talk about it and share our thoughts on the book. So we want to know everything, your favorite part, your favorite character, who annoyed you the most, because let's face it, there were some annoying characters. Loved it. But there were some that, yeah. And what
I,
you guys think might happen next in the series. So we'll open the floor and anyone is free to discuss.
I thought Paul was too aggressive, and I was thinking, well, maybe he's the one that probably killed Marcy. And let's face it, everyone in that pool hated her. She was a total, bee. I was surprised. Never in my mind that I thought that it would be um what's it the life coach guy. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names, but I never not in a million years I thought it would be him. Oh, I'm sorry if did anyone read the whole book?
Oh
I
my
didn't
God,
know.
watch somebody have come on and not read the book and they're like, spoilers. Thanks.
Yeah, I just like, oh,
I
I
think
should
we
have said
lost one.
spoiler alert.
Well, here's a question I'd like to put to the room. If you have a character like Marcy that is just so terrible, do you even care if the murder gets solved?
No. But poor Alex, everybody was pointing the fingers at her. So I could understand that she had to get down to finding out what happened or what's going on, what happened and who it was. And like, please, I just want to go back to normal. Like every time something in her universe, somebody's like, I mean, it was just like, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want to give too much away though for those who haven't read it.
I,
Oh no,
no,
Sandra, free for all.
spoilers
Talk
should
about
probably
anything.
be allowed at this point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, going in, what was really scary where was it uh Dex, I think, or was it Lex or Jake's? Yeah, Jake's and Alex went to Marcy's house and it was like the French doors was open, like somebody was already in there, and I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna have to put the book down because I'm already getting scared, and I don't like scary movies. But but it was like I gotta read what happened. I gotta keep reading what happens. Who's was it? Is it Paul or is it one of the anybody outside? Because they were saying that maybe it could have been one of the husband's clients that was upset because he was I forgot what he was, a financial or real estate agent, something like that. He was dealing, but it could
We'll
have,
just call him high finance.
yeah, finance. It was like maybe it would have been a deal gone bad or something in that nature, vengeance.
You know what I really felt bad for was like the poor kid.
Oh, Julie, yeah. For a moment there, I thought it was her. I thought it was her too.
I was like, oh, she's off
Oh,
parents.
So unlike Alex, who thought everybody was innocent, I think Sandra at one point you thought everybody was guilty.
well, I was thinking maybe it could be Paul or the Thomas guy, Paul Thomas or Julie.
Did anyone think it might have been a cop for like a hot minute? Because he was like obsessed, right? Did anyone think that for like a second?
No, I
I
think
was
it was.
like,
No, because Hallmark movies and mystery rules tell us that that's the new love interest. He can't be the killer. Now, if this was Hitchcock or something, yeah, probably. But this was a
Uh,
little too cozy a mystery for it to wind up being Paul.
remember, I read one part where Andy, his character, where he was once a poop shoveler who turned into an executive. You know what that remind me of? Brad Carlton from YNR. Pool boy turned into executive. Like, oh my God, this is just like Brad.
Brad, and I also thought Cole Howard, didn't he start off, really low working in Victor's stables before he got with Victoria?
Yeah, I vaguely remember because it was like so 30 years ago. I know, I'm sorry. I know he was. All I know is that him and Victoria were just so much in love. Like, no one or anyone could stop him. I remember that.
Well, Sandra, I'm glad you brought it back to the Young and the Restless because I was wondering, you know, despite the picture on the cover of the book, of course, I held it up and I've got a blurry background. Um, we see Alex, dark brown hair, a little more petite than Eileen Davidson, but all I was seeing throughout the whole book was Eileen
Eileen
Davidson as
Davidson, you
Alex.
too. Okay. I was thinking that too. Like, yep, this sounds like just like Eileen Davidson's. Hmm.
Although I suppose, Eileen Davidson could have that nice chestnut hair. It might
Yeah.
suit her.
You know what?
And
Dude, actually.
towards the ending, when they were at the Emmys, I believe, like, and Peter Bergman and Melody Scott Thomas were coming out and hosting, or I think, were they hosting the event, or they were just giving out an award. I was like, oh my God, that was so catchy.
Well, Sandra, I'm also glad that you brought that up. We'll actually put that a little bit towards the end of the discussion,
Okay.
but we'll put a pin in that, and I'm glad you brought it up. One thing that I wanted to bring to the table as soap fans, there was one particular line in the whole of the book that just hit me. And it was Alex saying, I made a note to ask Jakes how big a part coincidence plays in his business. And literally that day, watching, I believe it was Bold and the Beautiful, I sat there thinking, what a coincidence. All of these people in the same place at the same time. So that got me thinking about coincidence in soap operas and coincidence in murder mysteries. Any?
An Another thing I was gonna say that kind of like struck a chord, or not a chord, like a light bulb. Like, when a character is in the coma, that means that they're renegotiating their contract. Like, did she reveal something that we don't know about, and now we do?
But look at how many maternity leaves happen with women in comas, right?
Yeah.
Or big business trips,
Or contract renegotiations.
right?
Or of course, they just break out the big purse, like with Jacqueline McInnes Woods on Bold and the Beautiful at the
Honestly, how
moment.
much bigger can that purse get at this point?
Definitely.
Like, we know it's
Like,
okay,
like, okay, like, take off the purse. We know you're pregnant. You
right?
know.
Well,
Anybody want to add in?
Sandra, I have to say, I was so surprised to hear you say you didn't suspect Murray. The minute I read Murray, I said, if this was a Murder She Wrote or a Diagnosis Murder, he would be the big guest star and, of course, the killer.
I like, my suspicion was like not even on him. But then, like, when reading towards the end, like, oh, that's right. He really didn't like her. And but it wasn't because he cared about his client. It was like the money was dwindling, his contract. what's her name? Marcy was gonna kick him out anyway, so no work, no money. So yeah, I guess he had to take it from there. He had to act quick. And I was like, the person that I least suspect I would like overlooked. Like why?
I have to say, from the minute he was introduced, I thought it was him, except one period when they introduced that writer as a suspect, and then she didn't even go and talk to him for like 15 chapters. I thought, okay, maybe it's this writer at the tail end of the book. They'll be like, hey, the guy you didn't even go and investigates the killer.
I know the other character who annoyed me was Cindy. Hey, I got a part for you. You could be on CSI, just play the dead person, no dialogue or anything. Will there be any flashback scenes? Like, or go on extra, or was it no Inside Edition and Court TV? I'm like, oh my God, girl, just leave her alone. Just
Um, anyone find Alexis annoying? Just me?
why? I thought,
Like
She was a little.
break into people's houses,
oh yeah, okay, okay, okay.
and then you're gonna take the kid. Just, okay.
I did find her on the one hand a little abrupt with Paul, but then when you think about what she went through with the husband, maybe she has reason.
Making up something, making up something that she wished she could have done. That I don't know, but yeah, that was just like you said, Garrett, abruptly taking Julie into her wing like, out of just, even though she was like real witchy to her. Excuse me. And I
Um,
was, go
Anybody
ahead.
else have any thoughts on the book? Because it's sort of been just the three of us talking. So we welcome anyone. If you're muted, go ahead and unmute yourself. You can jump in at any time.
well, while they're debating whether they want to jump into the conversation or just listen, which is also fine, who would have watched The Yearning Tide if it was actually a real soap opera? I thought the plot as presented sounded pretty good.
Yeah, I would have been down for that. But I also want Body and Soul that's on Days of Our Lives right now.
Oh yeah, that was, oh sorry. Go ahead, Amber.
I want that to be a real soap, like desperately. And I think Peacock should put that out.
Yes,
Not
I would.
back to soap operas, but yeah.
I also wanted to ask, and I wonder if this is just me being a child of a woman who loved mysteries, particularly the Murder She Wrote tie-ins. Every time she got one of those books, I had to stare at the cover because there was always a hidden skull. Does anybody remember those? There was always a skull hidden somewhere. So the minute I got this book, I held it up staring, thinking there's got to be clues in this picture that's going to tell me who this killer is, or maybe there's a hidden skull somewhere. Was I the only one?
Probably.
Yeah, usually.
I didn't even know that those were books.
Oh.
How are you older and younger than me at the same time?
The gift. Well, I said I was happy that Sandra brought up the uh, preview for the next book in the series, Dial Emmy for Murder. We found out during our research into this series that 2 years ago, Eileen Davidson was actually working to have this turned into a television series, which would have been called Dial Emmy for Murder, where Alex's name would have been changed to Emmy, Emme. And of course, sadly, at the moment, there's been no updates, of course, due to COVID and financial situations. But I just wonder, having read this book, would you all be interested in actually watching a television adaptation of it?
Yeah, because I want to see what's gonna happen with Lex and oh wait, it's not gonna be Alex. That's right. You said it probably be the characters were gonna change. Well, I would watch it if they kept the characters, because I want to see what's gonna happen with her and Jake's. It was like a chemistry brewing.
As far as I understand it, it would be exactly the same characters. They were just changing Alexis's name to Emmy so they could call the series Dial Emmy from her.
I just realized that we had it marked to like mute people when they come in. So I have sent sort of like an invite out to everyone to unmute if you feel like it. I just want to make sure the option is there, because I did not realize we were muting people as soon as they came in the room. So good for us. We're amazing. And I'm so sorry. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
Well, on the vein of if it became a TV series, who would you all want dream casting? Would you want Eileen in the role of Emmy slash Alexis? Is there somebody else you pictured? Who would you like as Jake's? Paul?
As in, let me see.
For
Maybe
Kaylee Cuoco.
we gotta
What was
throw
that?
in JMW. How about JMW? Oh wait,
McKen Wood. That'd be really cute
what?
if Jacqueline McKen Wood played that.
Yeah.
That'd be really cute, actually.
Let's see. I'm thinking maybe the character going back to Death in Daytime. I think the character who would probably play Paul would be suitable to play Paul would be what's his name?
Okay.
Cameron Matheson.
Oh, no, that'd be cute.
What do y'all think, guys? Who?
I don't know. I asked the question and I did not have anything prepared. So,
Oh, I'm sorry.
no, totally my fault.
As if the cop is Billy Miller.
Hmm.
But I just want to see Billy Miller back on TV. So give him like anything. And anything. I'll take anything. Yeah.
Billy Miller as Davis, the one who's addicted to the yearning tide, who loves Alexis Peterson.
Is it James? The cop that she kissed. James, right?
Jake's.
Oh, Jake's.
Jakes. Imagine Jacqueline McKen Wood and Billy Miller playing love interest. I'm just saying, dream casting.
Yeah.
That would sizzle. That be a sizzle, sizzle. Be, ow, that's hot.
Yeah, that'd be really cute, actually.
I wish there would be like some kind of no, but there would be no reason for that. Like some kind of a IT character, a character who's like in IT, who would be like.
Well, they have
Thinking,
that young man, the son of the husband's friend's wife.
oh, that's right. I forgot about him. Yeah. Yeah, I thought I was gonna be reading more of him, but I guess that last part where he emailed Alexis, I was like, well, that's it.
But of course, he could show up in another book. We have 3 more to read.
Oh
Never know.
yeah. Yep. I was like, okay. Oh, wait, what's with my camera? I was like, okay, I have to watch that. I have to read that. Dow Murder for Emmy or something. I'm sorry. I don't know. Yeah, there was like two other ones that were out there too. I was like, okay, I read the synopsis, like, oh, I gotta read that too. That's a continuation.
Well, we'll definitely be putting those in future polls. Every month, we're going to be letting you all, everybody, decide. And whichever book gets the most votes, that's what we'll read for the month. And we'll come back and discuss. So, which perfect segue, Amber, if you'd like to reveal the next book that we're going to be discussing for book club. I asked her as she's just put something in her mouth.
Good job. Wow.
VC Andrews.
We should add those in though. Those are kind of sexy. Okay, talk about something else for a minute because it's going to take me a second.
VC Andrews, Jackie
I just
Collins.
have to double check the poll and just see what happened here. So I'm pretty sure I know the answer to this.
Well, I will say, speaking of the poll, at the tail end of every month when we put the poll into the article, we're going to give you options between a biography, an autobiography, a tie-in novel, or just, a mystery novel like Eileen's series, Victoria Royale series, for example. So there'll always be a nice mix, different genres, of course, different writers. So
okay, so the poll this time we're gonna be reading for July. I'm just saying 3 husbands or 3 deaths, 7 husbands. Oh my god. Let me rewind, take 2. I'm just saying 3 deaths, 7 husbands, and a clone. My Life as a Daytime Diva by Kim Zimmer.
Oh, I love Kim Zimmer. Guiding Light, Reva Shane.
Yes. That I've never watched one episode of. So now guess what I should.
Really? Well, Amber, since you are admittedly a bit of a newer soap watcher, when did you first start watching Young and the Restless and see Eileen Davidson?
Okay, so Young and the Restless was from the womb. Like, yeah. All My Children was with my Nana. So I know a lot about All My Children. Days of Our Lives a bit as a teen, because who didn't watch when they were a teen? I mean, they had Sammy. Right. And then General Hospital as of like 9 years ago. And Bold and the Beautiful around the same time. But Bold and the Beautiful is a lot easier to catch up on. Like all the episodes are on YouTube. You can like roll through them really quick. I just wish that there was somewhere that we could go that had every, like, like that soap opera network or whatever they used to have.
Oh, yeah.
Great, like on-demand streaming service.
Yeah.
So I could go back and watch all the stuff I missed, because it sucks when you have shows like this and it's sort of like once in a lifetime. Like once you miss it, that's it.
Yeah.
And there's so much material out there in boxes.
I have to say, as far as Eileen Davidson is concerned, not even Young and the Restless. I first saw her, of course, at Days of Our Lives, playing Kristen, Susan, Thomas, Penelope.
Oh
Who was the other
my.
sister, Mary Moira?
Mm-hmm.
So actually, my first introduction to Eileen as Ashley was really at the time. I wasn't a big Young and the Restless watcher till about 2000-ish, which I think was right around the time she came back
What, like
to the show.
7? Yeah.
Yeah, 8, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I started watching YNR. There was a neighbor that I would go visit frequently until it was like the summertime, and I went to her house, and next thing I know, I saw Eileen and Eileen and Eric. They were lovers, and I was like, oh, okay, what's this? Like
I don't, okay.
like the rest is history.
For me. Okay. I don't need hate mail or angry messages. Okay. But Victor belongs with Ashley. I don't care.
Wow. I think them are fighting words with the Nictor fans.
I know. But every time Eric Braden and Eileen Davidson are on set together, I'm just like, this is the pairing.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying I don't love Melody Thomas Scott. Like, Nikki's my TV mom. But mom and dad need to be with different people. Okay. Mostly, yeah, they just, yeah.
I definitely agree. The chemistry between those two is palpable. But again, when I came into The Young and the Restless, and with Eileen in particular, was when Ashley was paired with Brad. So I sort of have a soft spot for Ashley and Brad.
Oh God, I loved her with Brad. I love if they would just bring him back. Listen, B&B is not doing enough with Don. It's time to bring him back to YNR. I don't care. Unfreeze Brad. Do what you got to do. Because imagine Tucker. Imagine what would happen with Tucker if Brad showed up.
I think you should write a book about soaps bringing back the dead. Like a husband she was married, find out later on, years later, he was alive. And he just had amnesia and he just didn't know anything what was going on until suddenly he gained his memory back and he wants to go back to his wife, but his first wife and a wife that he's with is like she wants him and oh Soapy.
Wonder that like the soap opera generation didn't have a complex and people died. Like, nah, they're not dead. Like
that'd be a good novel to read. Yes, it would.
I have to say, as juicy as Eileen's book was, I do hope in future installments we get a little more,
right?
Where we can parallel Eileen's life at Young and the Restless with what's going on. I didn't feel that so much in this book. Of course, we know Eileen never went off and solved a murder and fell in love with a cop.
Come here then. Come here.
I'm watching. Wasn't she like?
Is standing there moping at me. So.
Oh, and then on her next
Special
novel,
she are always welcome.
She could have on her next novel, maybe she could have a daughter named Summer.
Well, I do wonder going into the next book if she'll get custody of Julia. That was something I was wondering throughout the end of the novel. Is she going to adopt her, foster her?
What's fun is if she gets custody of Julia and then they both fall for the cop and it's like,
oh, that's right.
Ashley, what was the doctor's name? The one that came back when Abby was pregnant. Ben. Stitch. Actually, in Stitch situation.
Now, that's good writing, Amber. That's a good soap. I'm sure it would translate perfect into a novel. Yes.
I should really start writing books.
But I also fear it's going to be a situation where, like many episodes of television series, the character was introduced, and in the next book, she won't even be mentioned. Julia who?
Yeah, Julia who? Or was it Julia and Sarah? Sarah who? I think
I just watched about last week an episode of Charlie's Angels that ended with Kelly deciding to foster a young boy. Never heard from again. We either entered a parallel universe, it didn't go through, and I kindly feel that's Julia's fate.
Ryan Tessa getting a baby, never to be seen again.
I think there was a part there where I thought the mother was going to say something like, why am I watching your child while you go out gallivanting playing detective? But yeah, she never addressed it.
Oh, she's got a good mama.
Yeah.
A good mama.
You know who holds the purse strings, don't we?
Yeah, I thought she was gonna I thought there was gonna be some kind of confrontation, but water under the bridge, I guess.
Well, speaking of water, Amber, before we got on here, we were talking, you had the perfect plot for the second book. Why don't you tell people that?
Oh yeah, I was like a little like, why did Murray get out of the water? Like, why was he found and taken when they could have been like, oh no, he disappeared under the water, and then in the second book he kills again. Like,
Same. I thought that's what the whole him disappearing into the water was leading up to.
right?
Rewind. Amber said something on the next book. He kills again. So
Oh,
is it?
that's Amber's
Yeah, that's just what I think
Oh,
should
oh, oh,
happen.
oh,
that's what
okay.
she wanted to see.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It could have been really cute if then like he started on like a rampage through like the whole series.
Settling the score or something like that.
Yeah,
And
and it
that,
could be like I know what you did last summer where they have to like keep going back and killing him.
but he will not dress like the Gordon's fisherman.
But this is a very soapy book. Perhaps the body they
Mhm.
pulled out of the canal wasn't Murray, and they just didn't
Yes,
notice.
it
Yeah, and I was thinking,
maybe it was a corpse that looked exactly like Murray, just like Diane on Young and the Restless. The corpse
mhm.
looked like her, but it wasn't her.
We're getting started. Okay. Okay.
And at the end, I thought she was like being all like silly. Oh, you both are my heroes, Paul and Jake's. Oh, you're both my heroes.
That
Like,
line was rent free in my head for like 5 whole hours. Okay.
oh,
I'm going to
come
start
on.
saying that to anybody who's in the same room with anybody else, and so much as gives me like a piece of cake. I'm going to be like, you're both my heroes.
Well, here's something else to think about. Do we think throughout the book Alex earned that diva title? Because Alex doesn't seem to think so,
Yes.
but
hmm I think
Yes.
she was.
Amber doesn't even have to think about it.
Yes. I mean, you're sitting there with the hairdresser trying to snoop for information on like everybody else, and you're not telling me you're not going to be a gossipy diva. Breaking into people's homes,
Yep.
have like no boundaries whatsoever. You like start trash talking the dead mother to the daughter. Like, nah, and
Yeah.
then your boyfriend's literally just inside the house and you're kissing the cop. Nah, you're not diva,
Mhm. Yeah.
producer. You're not diva.
And what about Thomas? That Marcy knew a secret about Thomas. I thought, well, what is it? You know what the first thing I thought? What if he's gay? Or what if he's a crossdresser?
Well, you got it.
Did I actually miss that? Because I didn't find out what the secret was.
That he did perform in drag. He was in drag at the bar.
Oh my god, did I just not read that as the secret? I remember that.
Yeah,
That was
that
just,
she did mention that was his secret. Yeah.
I just read that as like a normal everyday thing. So.
it was like
Well,
the article was more like a self thing. Go ahead.
speaking of Thomas, and we discussed Sarah, who would you like to see return? Of course, aside from Alex and Jakes and Paul.
Maybe
Oh my
Thomas.
god, the what's her name? The one who sat in the makeup chair beside her and was like real snotty with her.
Yes.
Yeah, her.
Amanda Ballard.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I want to see her return, and I want them to fight for something. Yeah, she should. Yeah, that would be fun.
And Muscle Boy. I forgot his name.
Roman.
Yeah. He was funny there a little bit. They didn't explain so much about him. It was just like one little shot and then that's all you hear. Like he wasn't he wasn't mentioned as much.
This would have been such a really cute TV series. Saying this is a missed opportunity.
Yeah. I have to say, out of everybody, George has got to come back. George and Wayne. She's got to have her best friends. I wouldn't mind Linda.
Oh,
Now,
I wanted to
Connie,
go.
Connie the agent.
Am I the only one who brought snacks to this?
No, I have snacks, but I'm enjoying the conversation, so I didn't want to have like
I just
food in my mouth.
had half an hour stuff in my face for everyone to see.
I'm like, blah, 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 blah.
It's like
Like,
snacks. I brought like a whole plate.
There is never judgment in book club, Amber. You
No.
just stuff.
go ahead and chew away. Yes, and I wanted to. I felt like I was at George and Wayne's house when they were cooking up the breakfast. Like,
Oh,
oh my
that's so
God,
cute.
like Wayne's cooking up breakfast, and why am I not invited? Like smelling. It said it's smelling the pancakes and coffee in the morning. I don't do coffee, but I have tea. That's cool, or orange juice. But yeah, I was like, oh my God, breakfast in the morning.
Snacks in your bowl downstairs.
I also have to say, I like how with every cozy mystery heroine, Alex had to have something that she enjoyed doing as a hobby, like baking or flower arranging. Those are pretty popular. I loved that she was a surfer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then
That just went perfect with the California setting.
yeah,
And it's
that was
something you
so
don't
California.
really see. I don't think I've ever read a surfing mystery solving actress.
Right?
Porsche driving,
Girl.
Oh yes, the Porsche.
driving her Porsche on, was it PCH? I'm like, hello. So LA.
Okay, listen, I'll give you a cracker, but then you gotta back off.
Oh.
And speaking of, another thing with cozy mysteries, being the fan that I am, I noticed that in the series they typically at least one or two books you have to go somewhere else. Where would you all like to see Alex go?
New York.
I think I'm gonna say agree with Amber, New York.
Yeah.
But if New York and then maybe like Miami.
Oh,
Hmm.
yes.
Well, I mean, she's a surfer, so is she also like a snowboarder? What about Colorado?
Hmm.
Ooh, I like
Usually
that.
surfers. Most of our surfers are all like avid snowboarders. They seem to go hand in hand here, anyway.
Right. I'm gonna take time off away from the daytime business and just like find myself. Maybe go to New York, then Miami, then like a traveler. She'd
Okay.
be a traveler trying to explore herself, discover. Maybe at the end, she'll probably say, you know what, I want to do something else and get out of the daytime business.
Well, Sandra, I'm going to jump off your topic. What would you like to see explored outside of the daytime business? Because, we talked about at the beginning, we saw Eileen and Alex, and Eileen has had such a storied career. Again, one of the first things I ever saw Eileen in is the movie House on Sorority Row. I mean, could we see Alex in a slasher movie?
Alex,
Oh,
that's on the Real Housewives.
very. or oh, Peterson investigations.
Yeah, just totally stop with acting and open her own private investigation
Mhm.
office. I love it.
Oh my God, that series could go on forever if she did that.
Peterson investigations, like move over CSI.
Her, Paul, and Jake's all at the same
Mm.
agency.
And then like, oh my God, who do I have feelings for? I don't know who I have feelings for. Jake's or
I wonder
Paul. They're
if
just.
Eileen would, I wonder if Eileen would hate us if we start writing like fanfic and selling it.
Hey, if she gets the TV series off the ground, she might like having some extra ideas floating out there.
Mhm.
Just saying.
Like some kind of narration and narrating the events, like I got tired of the soap business. I decided I wanted to find something new. And here I am in
And
LA.
perfect,
I mean, in New York.
perfect way to keep Julia, make her their little, undercover agent every time they need, to get
Every time
somewhere
we're
in.
investigating the teen scene.
Oh, and then Sarah decides she's becoming a preteen, and she suddenly starts likes boys and or girls or something.
Sora as Sarah. And like the next book, she's gonna be like 8.
And
Yeah,
then
if I had one complaint, it was 4-year-old Sarah. There's not much you can do with a 4-year-old character in your book series.
Right? My dog was
yeah,
1 and ate the rest of my snacks. So that's nice for both of us.
mhm. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, what could you do with a 4-year-old character? I mean, there's
I
so
mean,
far you could go.
listen, if a baby is stolen, the little one could be like, but baby Beth is alive. Which is still the greatest.
I have to say, Eileen has so much fodder because, she wrote these 4 books so many years ago with everything else that's happened at Young and the Restless and Bold and the Beautiful, and with her career, she's got more stories in her.
I was reading, I don't remember when, but something that Ron Moss, aka Ella B&B Alum, Rich Forrester, said something about the book. It was a good review. But I don't remember what it was. I don't remember the exact words, but it's in there somewhere. It was on yeah, I went to Amazon.com, that's right. And I was reading the synopsis, and yeah, I saw him giving a review of the book. It was a good review, of course.
I'll admit it. I didn't hate Ridge and Ashley when she was on Bold and the Beautiful.
Oh,
You know what? Say that now.
Well,
okay, Garen, I'm sorry. I really don't care for Ridge and Ashley. It was like putting oil in water where
it was something different from Brooke and Taylor, so I'll take
yeah.
anything different from Brooke and Taylor and Ridge.
No, do you know who would have been really cute? Is if they brought back Shauna. Ridge came back, not working with the FBI, but because he was married to Shauna. But what do I know? I'm just a fan.
You're not Bill Bell, sorry.
We're armchair mystery writers, we're armchair head writers. There's nothing we can't do.
Right? Come here. Except get my dog under control. You cannot zoomies right now, right here. You can no, come here then. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Now that would be something Eileen Davidson wrote something about fashion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take some little tidbits from the B&B.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
want to join? She's jealous. That's what this is. She's
Mm.
minutes of like not with me time. And I don't like that. So
Oh, and it'd be like someone like Sally. I'm sorry, go ahead, Eric.
For the next book club, you'll have to get her a little tablet, her own little chair, so she can join us.
I swear this. Okay, so my other dog will literally watch TV on a tablet, and this one doesn't recognize that screens exist.
Mm.
So, which is always super fun for me when I'm trying to distract her. Can you not?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Like Eileen writes a book about fashion, and then there's like someone like Sally Specker, who's like a little fashion peddler who just steals some designs like in the lingerie collection. Like that's mine. That's my prince. Why is it? Something like. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What about Courtney Hope for Alexis?
She would be a good
Mm,
Alexis.
I think she's got that abrasiveness, but she can also make you care about her, which you really need, because I loved Alexis, but sometimes I thought, oh, that was a little sharpish.
Alexis got to me a few times when I'm like, why are you breaking into someone's house? I mean, yelling at your boss, great, fine. It's something I would do.
And then
But
she bumped her head. Well, the first one, somebody hit her in the head. And then the second time, I think she
yeah,
whacked herself.
when she was like yelling at the doctor, like someone tried to kill me, and the doctor's like, I was like, punch him in the face, Alexis. Just go ahead and punch him in the face. I've got your back. Yeah. And then 10 minutes later, I'm like, why are you breaking into a house?
I think that's just a tenet of cozy mysteries. You just got to get the person to get into the house any means necessary for their own exploration.
Okay, guys, give me a minute. I'm gonna sneeze. I'll be right back.
Did you?
Well, Sam, was there anything else that
I
you wanted
was
to bring up?
I was gonna bring up. Remember that? I don't forgot his name, but he was a character. He was a I guess no, he was not a janitor. I forgot what he was, but he was like in the heavy set side, and he didn't want nobody to sit next to him. He was like a more like an introvert, where he was at the restaurant and he didn't want nobody to sit next to him. And then Alexis, with her coffee, is like, "Well, may I sit here?" I forgot that character's name, but yeah, they only mentioned him that one time, and like that was it. And
Sammy Horner, aka
oh,
Kimber.
oh, okay.
How do you remember all this stuff?
Oh, no. Cheat sheet.
There you go.
Nice. I'm gonna
I
have to
knew,
remember that for the next book because I won't have any idea anything she's talking about. But
Yeah, I had to go back and like sometimes like let me go back. I missed that part. Let me go back to page 12 or something and recap. Oh, okay. All right. So I want to get ready for my book club meeting and remember, and so it just let it all out.
I
well,
am getting very lightly beat up by the dog. I just
Mm.
that she's
speaking of going back and forth, Sandra, I went back like 4 times because both Thomas and there was a writer named Ray they mentioned, they both had the last name Williams. And I thought, coincidence? Or is that, a little clue I should be looking for? No, I think it was just a plain
It was
coincidence.
just yeah, it was like one of those things like, nah, it's nothing.
Which was so disappointing because when I saw that, I thought, yes, I found something. This is going to mean something at the end of the book.
you were okay.
I was so blown away by Marcy that she denied her husband and her daughter. Like, why did you do that? Why did you get married and have a child if you still hung up on the other guy that Alexis was married to? I'm like, and then at the end he turned out to be such a jerk. He
Alexis
left
saved
her.
this woman. Like, I wonder if the daughter was really his kid though.
Hmm.
And he
No,
didn't have a baby, and that's why she had to get married.
now see, that would be good, but I think the way they explained it, that was so far in the past, that kid that had to be more than 4 years old.
Yeah. Hey,
But I actually really like that.
Yeah, that was a juicy part there, but questionable. Like, why?
telling like I didn't get married, I didn't have kids, and you got everything. And
Yeah, and then later on, turn out, she has a husband and a daughter.
like, in fact, you lived her
Oops.
life before she did. Like, you were married first, you had a kid first. Like,
Right. Whoopsie. Oopsie.
10 years difference between those kids. Okay.
And how sad to find out that Marcy's husband actually loved her so much he thought they could still get back together after that divorce.
Right. Stop.
That was so sad when Murray told Alexis that. Oh,
If you don't stop, then I'm putting you on TikTok for harassing me in the meeting. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
And then she would constantly, I think what she would remind Sarah that she was a, was it, did she say she was a mistake or she was a regret or something? No, not really, right?
I think it was just one of those, what my grandmother used to call a surprise baby.
Mm.
She didn't regret her, but Sarah was a surprise.
Yeah, she was a not supposed to be.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean at the like towards the ending where Alexis takes her in and she gave her a kiss in the forehead. She's like, oh, that's something that I never received. Like, oh my God, what kind of a mother was this person? But then again, so much animosity towards her, so
Yeah.
it's understandable.
Well, it's also going to be interesting to see if they keep Julia around. Will Alexis get her into the entertainment industry? Help her become an actress like she wants to?
That's right. Her mother didn't want her to be in the field.
How this kid is like, it's fine that you killed my mom. She wouldn't let me act. I was like, yo, like, take that down 10 notches, kid.
And I'm
Like,
sorry, I thought this was hilarious how she was found underneath the desk with her Emmy. I was like, oh my God, that is so hilarious.
And then
And
what are the chances he kills the husband, positions him in the exact same way?
but no Emmy.
Real coincidence.
hmm Like, okay, this
stop
is,
it. Sorry. That's enough.
and it was just the way how she was positioned that she when she was found dead with the Emmy. I'm like, oh my God, it's funny.
I have to say, I appreciated that she didn't scream. Every time in movies and TV, when you find the body, the person has to scream. And she actually said her first reaction was to laugh. And I thought, how refreshing.
Laugh and walk away. And yeah, that was funny. I'll just never get over the daughter being like, it's okay that you killed her. Like, she wouldn't let me be an actress.
And it's surprised there's no pets in in that book.
Well,
Yeah.
so is Priya. She's shocked, in fact, that there are no dogs for her to discuss. Because clearly she wants to be part of this.
Nope.
Like, she's gotten
Well,
pretty aggressive over the last couple minutes about like the lack of attention.
Mm.
maybe in the next book, she'll get Sarah a playmate. If there's no Julia, she'll need a little dog or a little kitty.
Or an
Right?
iguana. Iguana named Shady.
Like, we're like 10 seconds away from playing calming music for dogs. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, in that case, if there's nothing else, nobody else wants to get off mute, throw something at us. I guess we can call this book club meeting over.
wouldn't Priya like that very much. I was having a good
Well,
I had
just
a
to
good time.
repeat, the next book will be Kim Zimmer's autobiography. There'll be an article going up on the site this coming Friday, telling you where you can buy it. We'll give synopsis, and fingers crossed we could actually get the lady herself here at the next book club to talk with us. Hoping, but if not, it'll just be us. Hopefully, more people will come in. I know there are a lot of fans of Guiding Light, even more fans of Kim Zimmer. So we might have a huge house next time, which would be wonderful.
Yeah.
But I think this was great, and I hope everybody that attended thought so.
Yeah. This
Oh,
was
I enjoyed it. Decompressing.
right.
Decompressing.
So until next time, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.